For most of Warcraft's history, there is one thing we could agree on. The light was good. It healed the wounded, protected the innocent, and empowered heroes. You could question kings, factions, even some of the gods, but the light was sacred. Until somewhere along the way, the light stopped being a moral constant and just became another cosmic force with an agenda. My name's Will, and today we're asking, when the light stopped being good, and how big of a retcon was this really? So in early WoW, the light wasn't complicated. It was faith-based and not cosmic, and only responded to belief, conviction, and someone's inner resolve. Paladins and priests didn't control it, but they embodied it. And the light rewarded compassion, self-sacrifice, and protection of others. It punished doubt, cruelty, and hypocrisy. And importantly, the light could fail you, but it never betrayed you. If a paladin lost the light, it was because they had strayed, not because the light had its own motive. The light was not an entity, wasn't a faction, it was a moral force. And that really is a crucial part of the belief. And early on, WoW leaned heavily into traditional fantasy morality. Holy magic was healing and protection, shadow was corruption and madness, and the light did stand opposite the void. It wasn't subtle, and it was almost emphasized. And crucially, because the light functioned as Warcraft's ethical baseline, even when its followers failed, the light itself remained pure. And this made it narratively powerful, because typically villains would reject the light, heroes struggled to live up to it, and redemption meant coming back to it. The light wasn't interesting because it was complex, but it was because it was uncompromising, and it was a baseline throughout early WoW. And then Blizzard wanted to look for something to remodernize and started adding some nuance. And this shift wasn't sudden, but the first one was the Scarlet Crusaders claiming the light while committing atrocities. And I'm going to mention this one first because this was the first jump from the Warcraft trilogy into the MMORPG where light changed. Now, then we had the Naru hinting that the light demanded obedience and not just faith. And we had this kind of pattern of holy zealotry becoming more common. But, okay, these things could be dismissed as people misusing the light, rather than the light itself being flawed. However, then Legion came along. Now, I'm sure you all remember this cinematic, but Xera didn't offer the light to Illidan. She tried to force it on him. She stripped him of choice, restrained him, and attempted to rewrite his nature for his own good. And when Illidan refused, the light turned on him. And for the first time, the light wasn't passive, it was genuinely authoritarian. And this showed up again in Shadowlands, where the light was officially revealed as one of the several cosmic forces, each with its own goals, methods, and philosophy. It was no longer good or evil or, aligned. The light now values order over freedom, belief over individuality, purity over choice. All of these things just expanding what was just faith. Because when you take a look at it now, light doesn't heal. The holy light doesn't heal because it was kind. It healed because healing reinforced the order. The light didn't empower heroes because they were good. It empowered them because they aligned with the light's vision. And suddenly, the light was no longer some moral compass, but it was just an ideology, just like the void. And there will be an argument here that Blizzard didn't contradict early lore, but instead expanded it. But it turned from this transcendent belief beyond systems and cosmic politics to being reduced into just another side on a chart, another faction with blind spots, another force willing to override free will. Now, specifically, it doesn't change the power that the light has or how it behaves going forward, but it does change so much. Were early paladins righteous, or were they following the light's secret plan? Was faith rewarded, or just met because of this so-called plan? It does completely change the earlier lore to a point where you can call it a retcon. And then what does that say about paladins and priests now? Our playable characters, are we aligned with what the light wants? What if one day we go against the light? Are we going to have times where paladins and priests don't have their abilities in a raid or in a quest? Or where is Blizzard planning to take that? Now, of course, modern WoW, they take something from the past and they want to expand it. They want to create a bigger world for us to explore. And they want to create this cosmic symmetry and no force being objectively right or wrong. But Warcraft wasn't originally built that way. And so by making the light morally grey, Blizzard obviously created a narrative flexibility, but lost what made the light the light. So, of course, the light is not evil, but it's not good. And it is rigid, it's demanding, it has its followers taking the free will of Illidan in order to bend it left, right and centre. The light once represented hope and something to believe in, even when the world was cruel. But now it asks you to kneel. This one, I absolutely do stand on it being a retcon, especially as we enter Midnight. This whole concept of light having an agenda when, 15 years ago, the light was just paladins and priests fighting for good, or fighting for what they believed in. And quite specifically, even when you have the Scarlet Crusade, for example, so the Warcraft into WoW, the first change that they made, the Scarlet Crusade believed that what they were doing was righteous, and it was that belief that fueled the light. Whereas now, it's only belief as long as you believe correctly. So as long as you are following what the light wants you to do. And that takes away free will of paladins and priests. Anyway, this one was quite a fun ramble. I do really enjoy making these, and this one is one that I have contemplated for quite some time. If you did enjoy, please do like and subscribe. It means a ton. And we have plenty on the channel as well. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely day.